that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Now I can't keep it, that's all me. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Should've seen a look when they saw me. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Now I can't keep it, that's all me. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Should've seen a look when they saw me. They ain't happy, they just shot. Killed Nipsey, they touched pop. Can't believe that I made it here. Bus rounds in my bus stop. No help, all me, get money on 3 game plan. In the hills talking real figures, got heel figure on the waistband. Like 4 bands, 4 hours, fuel efficient, just know I get it done. Life a dream, life a game, all the same, look like I really won. Roll the dice, you could bet that. Came back from a setback. Front pocket full of head pack. About to do a show, then I head back. Like, hold up, watch how you talk to me, I be too petty for play. I need my fetty today. Waking up early so I get ahead of the day. It worked for me better that way. Better go get it, you young and you able. They did not save us a seat at the table. I did it all with no help from a label. Came a long way just from stealing that cable. I'm teed up, drip down, save it, sit down, I don't need a cosign, need a new phone line. I think I'm too full of myself and they full of that hatred, they hated to see it. I don't need no help, I'm just being myself and they happen to pay me to be. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Now I can't keep it, that's all me. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Should've seen a look when they saw me. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Now I can't keep it, that's all me. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Should've seen a look when they saw me. They ain't cheering, they just doubting. Kill Sebi, they touch Malcolm. Meanwhile, I bought a Cuban link. I might upgrade it, might bust down it. Shine hard like I'm supposed to. I'm a king in a slum village. When you speaking that real, even though it's claiming ain't none feel it. I can see the envy. Know he wanna hide it, but it's coming through. I ain't seen nobody before I seen the paper. Who the is you? Mandatory that I keep on guessing. I'm a pop quiz and a potluck. Turn a win to a winning streak just to show these that it's not luck. Pop out, I'm fresh off a plane. Tell him that daddy is home. Truly, he glad to be home. These gravity prone. Tell by the way that he looking, he mad that he on. I've been on 10 with the 10 to the hoes in the market until there's no hoes in my pocket. These tend to be lying and tend to be hating on me cause I told them to stop it. Totally opposite every opinion. I'm doing whatever I'm feeling. Seem like the only few times when I asked for advice, what they gave me was never appealing. Lately, I feel like the man, yeah, the man that I told you one day I would be.
What's up, everybody? We are here. We are live for the academic world title. We have Steve, Big Steve in the building, and we have Silky D, the smooth, magnificent Silky D. And we got Steve, the Kemet Infomunger in the building. Guys, we're going to be bringing them up shortly, guys. This is for the Academic Wars Debate League Championship. Once again, I'm going to bring up our first contestant here, who is the affirmative. This is Silky D is in the building. Silky D, unmute your mic, say hello to your audience.
Oh, man. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? It's your boy, Silky D. Y'all know how it go. I'm coming to bring y'all the best, give y'all the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. Now y'all about to see what the real deal Holyfield really look like. So, you know what I'm talking about? Holla at your boy, Silky D. What's goody?
All right, and next up, we got our brother, Steve, the Kemet Infomunger. He is in the building. Say hello to the audience.
What's up, everybody? Same as always, I'm just repping the Infomongers, Info Warriors on deck, you know.
No doubt. And no doubt, and I myself am the host with the mostest. Once again, guys, this is a championship debate, which means it's the championship rules that are in play. We have a 3-minute opening and 2 15-minute rounds, and we have a 12-minute chin check session, along with a 5-minute closing. The affirmative is Silky D, so he will be going first tonight. And Steve, the Kemet Infomunger, he will be going next in line. So with that being said, Steve, I'm going to drop you down from the panel, and we're going to get our beloved brother Silky D ready for tonight. Guys, let's have a good, clean debate. Remember, if I say break, that's what I mean, break, because I know things can get heated in you guys' Q&A session. That's when the debate begins. Family, hit that like button. Let everybody know that we are live. This is the first debate over here at my channel. And these two young men right here are no strangers to debating. I want to give these brothers a personal thank you for participating in tonight's debate. Let's have a good, clean debate tonight. And remember, guys, decorum, understanding, and intelligence. Don't get mad. You're smart. All right, Silky D, with that being first, let me get you set here. Get you set here for your opening. And on my mark, we're going to mute this music here. We're going to turn this music down. I'm going to give you the floor in 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
I want to pull up some slides real quick. I want to go to my presentation real quick. Can you pull up my stuff? My presentation? I want to go drop a couple real quick in my 3.
Okay, I'll just restart that, and we're going to start all over with your time at 3 minutes. Go ahead. You got the floor.
All right, bet. It's your boy Silky D. Y'all already know Berbers taking Kemet. We're taking Africa. We're taking Egypt. We're taking the origins. We're taking everything. So I'm about to give y'all a really quick crash course. Everybody keep up, research everything I'm telling y'all. We're going to go to archaeology, paleontology, genetics, fossils. We're going to dig in gods. We're going to touch linguistics. We're about to touch everything tonight, y'all. I ain't playing around. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to kick it off like this. All right, first slide. Ancient Egyptian text refers to North African peoples, the ancestors of the Berbers, the Amazigh, using the names like Tamihu, Tehinu, and Berbera and Berberata, describing them as Libyans living in the west of the Nile, often depicted with feathers, distinctive clothes, tattoos, sometimes as enemies or trading partners. Let me bring that back for everybody that didn't pay attention. Tamihu, Tehinu, Barbara, and Berberata. That's ancient Egyptian. So stop running around here, Jose, screaming this barbarian all the time. This is Egyptian. Stop screaming Berbers is connected to barbarian. You sound lost. You just don't study. You need to study more. So let me keep on. So Libyans live in west of the Nile, often depicted with feathers, distinctive clothing, and tattoos, sometimes as enemies or trading partners, with early linguistic links linked to the word for hound appearing around the Middle Kingdom and detailed conflict and interaction. And in the New Kingdom, Ramesses period, these texts show them as diverse, sometimes fair-skinned to Tamihu. Let's go on to the next slide. Next slide, number 2. Tamihu, early depictions, Old Kingdom, show these Libyans light skin or blue eyes, featuring feathered hair, head crest, or unique attire. Tehinu, a darker skinned group of Libyans, also mentioned in Egyptian records. Names appearing in the text of 1700, 1300 BC, possibly referring to the Berbers group with Barbarata, meaning lands of Barbara. Meaning Berberata, in Egyptian text, meaning lands of Barbara. Okay, talking about Africa, talking about North Africa, talking about Egypt, talking about Kemet. Let's keep going. The broad Egyptian tyrant peoples of the Western Desert often depicted conflict trade, especially during the Middle Kingdom. The Berber word for hound appears in the Egyptian stele from 2100 BC, showing early linguistic ties. That's noted on the EBSCO article. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go look that up. Let's go to the third slide. From the 19th dynasty, New Kingdom, Libyans became a significant military threat, often depicted fighting Egyptians. Culture exchange, Egyptian art shows Berbers with feathered headdresses, French clothes, and weaponry bows. The Kemetic Papyrus, this text may contain the oldest known Egyptian Afro-Asiatic language, Proto-Berber, linking ancient Libyan language to the modern Berber, Berber Libyans, all that, all Berbers, all Amazigh. Let's keep rolling. These Egyptians called themselves Libyans. Let me read that again. These Egyptians called themselves Libyans. These Kemetians called them all that. Egyptian, Kemet, all that stuff. Nubia, all that stuff is Berbers. All Amazigh. I got y'all. So these Egyptians called themselves Libyans.
All right, that was Silky D in the building, coming with his opening round. Shot a salvo at our boy Steve, the Kemet Infomunger. Once again, we're gonna drop you down, Silky D, and we're gonna bring up Steve next. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna leave you up here. Just mute your mic, Steve. I'm going to set your time at 3 minutes. This is your opening. You have the floor. Would you like for me to pull up your presentation?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here you go. And when do you want me to start your time?
Okay, you can start.
Go.
Debate question. Were the Berbers the people who established Kemetic Civilization? Introduction. Traditionally, the term Berber has been used to refer to the indigenous people of North Africa. It was coined by the Arabs and not the people of Kemet. Berber is an Arab word, conquerors and European colonizers, and is inherently discriminatory. Barbari in Arabic means barbaric, gibberish, and babble. Berber is considered as outdated and offensive by many North African Amazigh. And Amazigh mean free men and noblemen in their language. That is from etymology.com. What the sources actually say. Arab conquest period from the 7th to 8th century CE, Arab armies expanded westward into North Africa, capturing and enslaving some Berbers as war booty. This is documented in early Islamic sources and modern scholarship. One study notes that a large proportion of the booty consisted of slaves seized from the indigenous Berber population. Why it happened. In early Islamic law, non-Muslim captives in war could be enslaved. Many Berber tribes at the time were not yet Muslim, so they were treated as war captives. So that's the question. My response. Thesis statement. The Berbers were not the people who established Kemetic civilization. Introduction. Civilization encompasses much more than just a gene or haplogroup. Haplogroups are an indication of migration patterns and gene flow and is not a determinant of physical characteristics, culture, or civilization. The Berber gene or haplogroup primarily refers to the E1B1B paternal group. As men migrated, they mated with women and passed on the E1B1B paternal gene to their sons. In the strict genetic sense, women lack the E1B genetic marker. They do not have the Y chromosome E1B1B haplogroup. Therefore, women cannot be Berbers. Conversely, the E1B1B genetic marker is culturally prevalent among Berber-speaking populations in North Africa. Language is an indication of culture and not a phenotype. Phenotypic physical characteristic. For example, I speak the colonizer's English language, but I do not present as Caucasian, and I am not from England. This E1B1B haplogroup is part of the Afro-Asiatic language family and is associated with the ancient Ibero-Mauritian and Capsian cultures. People speaking Afro-Asiatic languages shaped the early development of Africa and Asian regions. The ancient Kemetic language is an extinct branch.
Finish up.
An extinct branch of the Afro-Asiatic family tree that is, however, closely related to the Amazigh and or Berber languages spoken in North Africa today.
Okay. With that being said, guys, that is round one in the books. Their opening premise for the audience family. We are now going into the premise round. The affirmative goes first, which is Silky D. We are bringing him up. Silky D, you are on the panel. Generally, I'll give you guys 15 seconds after so you guys can complete your thought. I hope you guys are okay with that. It gives you a chance to complete the slide instead of cutting you off mid-sentence like that. So generally, I'll let you go. Silky D, are you ready? Okay, with that being said, let me set your time for you here. Get ready to set your time here.
And just pick up where we left off at.
Okay, got you. I'm gonna pick up where we left off at. Just trying to reset my clock here.
For sure.
All right. Give me a second here, get you guys started. And with that being said, Silky D, let me get your presentation up. Add to stage. No huddle offense. Drop his presentation. Add yours. And we're going to get ready to go.
All right, let's get back into it. And Berbers have A0 haplo, so y'all can all look that up. Berbers in Algeria, that's AO. But that comes before E1B. But let's get back to it. So these Egyptians called themselves Libyans, but their language and culture linked them to the wider Berber Amazigh family, the indigenous people of North Africa. Early text, let's keep going to the next one. The term Barbara appears in ancient Egyptian texts from around 1700 to 1300 BC, and you said it was Arabic? To refer to the people in the region, likely related to modern day Berbers. The name is also connected to modern Arabic, the term for the people of Nubia. So now I get it, you didn't know that the Nubians are the Berbers too, right? I bet you didn't know that? Well, about to find out. So the name is also connected to the modern Arabic term for the people of Nubia, Barbara, who are the Libyan Berber origin. Historically, ancient Egyptians had intimate and early contact with these groups. The terms Barbar and Barbarata are found in inscriptions from the 18th and 19th dynasties. Barbar can be translated as territories of Barbara. That's like Berber land, yeah, all that. These inscriptions likely refer to Mihu Berbers, who were the group identified with the Libyans and lived in the western desert areas of Egypt and Libya. Let's go on to the next one. Deep indigenous roots, the Berbers people are considered indigenous inhabitants of North Africa and have an uninterrupted presence dating back to at least 10,000 BC, possibly up to 20,000 or 24,000 years, or even further back to the first modern humans in the region around 315,000 years. Ancient Levant presence, similar to the Levant, has been continuously inhabited by modern humans for a very long time. The Natufian culture, which was ancestral to the later Levantine populations, pioneered sedentary settlements around 12,000 to 9,000 BC. So even the Natufians are Berbers. Let's keep going. Ancient DNA studies show a significant migration genetic exchange between the North Africans, Levant, and Europe, especially during the Neolithic period around 10,000 BC. Where was your Kemetians there? Where was your so-called Egypt? How come my people are leaving a whole lot way early ahead of time and mixing out with the Levant? Where y'all at in the Levant? I don't see y'all doing any of that. But y'all supposed to be there. Then I tell me my people here way before y'all. Let's keep going though. All right, the province of Karnataka has played an important role in some events in Egypt. Relations between the Libyans and Egyptians in the era of the families were not always hostile. The peaceful relations between the two sides remain. Libyan blood was often found in basins of the Western Sahara. One of the most salient features of this peaceful connection was that of Khufu, a Libyan wife. The apparent form of the Egyptian-Libyan relation is pressure from the Libyans in the West when they attempt to settle in Egypt. But we find that the Libyan tribes were prevalent during the pre-families. We find that the Libyan tribes were prevalent during the pre-families. These Berbers were here way before your Kemetians showed up, before your Kemetic showed up, before your Egyptians showed up, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Let's keep going. We show that these one of the most the apparent Egyptian-Libyan relations between that, but we find that the Libyan tribes were prevalent during the pre-families in the Delta, and different with the Egyptians, so much so that the Egyptians and the Libyans will not distinguish the border between the two countries. Let's keep going. Another evidence of the good relations between the two parties is that Egyptians treat Libyans tribesmen as mercenaries in the Egyptian army. You Egyptians can't even protect yourself. You ain't even got no army. You ain't got no military. Where are you supposed to be this big civilization from? You can't even protect yourself. Stop playing.
Pause, Silky. Pause. I hate to get in the way of your ethos, your logos right quick. You're on fire. I'm feeling you. When did you want me to change your slide? You didn't tell me to change the slide.
I'm on go a couple more over. Summertime and go a couple over. I'm like, I'm on the one with the purple. There you, okay. Right there. There you go.
Starting your time now.
Go, my brother. All right. Let let me see. So the Egyptian and the Libyan will not distinguish the border between the two countries. Another evidence of good relations between the two parties is the Egyptians treat the Libyans, tribes as mercenaries, and the Egyptian army as they police in the desert. It was natural that the oasis then be a refuge for the fugitives from the state advance, which is logical. You know what I'm saying? They were told that the desert learned in their ways where they were stationed there. The Libyan rulers who ruled Egypt are characterized by Egyptian character, but did not forget their roots completely. And the proof of this is that they retained their names and titles of Libya, as well as established good relations with Libya and the province of Karnaca. They did not rely on rule in the country of another force or impose on people and other civilizations. The interactions that most impacted the Libyans and the habits of the Egyptians and influenced by them. Egyptians influenced by Libyans. Let me say that again. Egyptians influenced by Libyans. Kemet is influenced by Libyans. Berbers, Amazigh. Let's keep going. On to the next slide. All right, let's go on down. I'm gonna just shoot down to the bottom of this paragraph real quick. Let's talk linguistics. I heard somebody say, how you gonna prove that the Berbers started the Nile civilization? How you gonna prove that? Well, let's go ahead and go to the word Nile. Let's go ahead and see the origins of the word here. All right, so another possible etymology derives from the Semitic term Nahal, meaning river. Old Libyan has a term Lilu, meaning water, and modern Berber, Ilil, means sea. So old Libyan, that's the possible origin for your whole word, for the word Nile, period, and water. All right, that's coming from Berber. Why you asking about where the Nile civilization come from? Well, look at the word; it's coming from the Berbers. Now, I got more for you. I got you. Let's keep going. So the ancestors of the Berbers predate the formation of the dynastic Kemet, ancient Egypt, by several millennia, with evidence of their presence in North Africa dating back as far as 10,000 years. Kemet dynasty began around 3100 BC. I'm on to the next one, right? All right. Berber origin is those people who call themselves Amazigh and believed in the grid. Let's keep going on to the next one. All right. Okay, bet. The word Africa. Yeah, y'all want to talk linguistics, huh? Let's talk linguistics. Let's get into that linguistic bag. The word Africa is strongly linked to the Berber people. Though the exact origin is debated, one theory suggests it comes from the Roman name for a specific Berber tribe, the Afri tribe. So if it's not coming from the Berbers, it's still coming from a Berber name. It still come from a tribe. Berber is still named after a Berber tribe. So all of Africa is named the Afri. That's a Berber tribe, and it's more than a Berber tribe. It's also Berber places too. I got you. So yeah, the Roman name fit for Berber tribe and Afri, which they used to refer to the people, is what is now Tunisia. Another hypothesis is that Africa derives from the Berber word Afrikawa, meaning land of Berbers, or from Ifri, or Ephraim, which means caves, referring to cave-dwelling Berbers. From the desert, let's keep going. On to the next slide. Phrase Libyan, land of the dead. Ancient refers to the ancient North African region. Land of the dead. So when they're talking about the people and they're going into the afterlife, not the land of the dead, that's Libya. Oh yeah, I know what y'all be talking about. I try to tell you. Yeah, let's keep going. Ancient North African region where early inhabitants created burial sites and around it was later mythologized and mysterious in the terrifying land of the Greeks and the Romans. It was known for mysterious and sometimes monstrous inhabitants like the Garamantes. Go look up the Garamantes. That's another Berber tribe. They speak Libyan. They speak Berber. Yes, that's Berber. That's another Berber tribe for y'all. Nubians, the Garamantes, and we just getting started. So the Garamantes who rode chariots as well as for their roles as a major hub for trade and culture. A stark contrast to the modern day desert image. Yeah, that's part. We're about to get into it because we're talking like when it was lush. Because they go back to it when it was green and stuff. We're not talking about we're going before that. But I got y'all. To ancient tombs and burials, ancient people created rock tombs and the cliffsides, such as those found in Cyrene, for the deceased. The civilization which flourished the Garamantes between approximately 500 to 500 AD. BC to AD. Let's keep on going to hold on, let's go. Yeah. So they developed sophisticated irrigation systems.
I stopped your time, Silky. Don't worry, I'll give you 30 more seconds. What slide are we on? You're not telling me when to change slides.
My bad. You jumped one up. You go one back.
Okay, go one back. Okay.
Yeah, I'm only gonna read like a quick couple sentences and I'm gonna shoot to the next. Yeah, just one back.
All right, there you go. Go ahead.
This is gonna be real quick. All right, my man. So the Garamonte, the civilization which flourished from between approximately 500 BC to 500 AD, developed sophisticated irrigation systems, had a stable kingdom based on the Wadi agriculture and cattle pastoralism. All right, let's go on to the next one. Now I'm about to start hitting y'all with my pastoralist bag, because you talking all this Kemet, you talking all this Egypt. How are y'all even feeding yourselves? How are you going to feed an empire? You need food and produce. You need stock. You need a whole lot of farming going on for you to be able to field and grow an empire. Y'all, like I said, y'all ain't had no army. Let's get into it though. Tens of thousands of years ago in the Sahara Desert, which now covers roughly 90% of Libya, was lush and green vegetation. It was home to lakes, forests, diverse wildlife, and temperate Mediterranean climate. Agricultural, archaeological evidence indicates that the coastal plains was inhabited by Neolithic people from as early as 8,000 BC. These people were perhaps drawn by the climate, which enabled the culture to grow, sustaining and domesticating cattle, and the cultivation of crops. Egyptian inscriptions of the Old Kingdom are the oldest available documentations of the Berber people. These inscriptions record Berber tribes raiding the Nile Delta. You know what I'm saying? We back there. We all up in that. All right, ancient. Let's go to the next one. Chris, yeah. Ancient Libyans have a long history with evidence of Neolithic human settlement dating back to around 8,000 BC. Archaeologists find and suggest continuous human presence in the region for at least 50,000 years. Continuous evidence for at least 50,000 years. You talking about it's the Kemetic Civilization. No, y'all getting all that from Berbers. You stealing all that from the embassy. Y'all gonna stop stealing all my information. Oh, y'all got all your information wrong. I'm about to set all y'all straight. Archaeologists suggest to go back to human presence in the region for at least 50,000 years with evidence of sophisticated cultures developing around 8,000 BC due to more favorable climate. Historical document contact with the ancient Egypt occurred as early as 3100 BC. Neolithic period, ancient human settlements of the coastal plains, parts of the Sahara, where people lived by domesticating cattle and cultivating crops. Let's go on to the next one. All right, bet. Let's get on to this cultivation. In the Siwa Oasis, okay, in Egypt, the local Berber community has a long outstanding tradition. Well, actually, it's Libya, but the Siwa Oasis, the local Berber community, has a long-standing tradition of producing olive oil using ancient traditional methods that preach to this day. The primary oil-making tradition in the Siwa involves cultivating and processing oils, the key agriculture activity alongside date farming. You don't even get no anointed oil without my Berbers. You don't get none of that. Y'all steady running around here talking. Y'all don't have a clue. You don't get none of that without the Libyans, none of that without the Berbers, none of that without the embassy. They're giving y'all all that. Let me bring that back. So the Siwa Oasis, the local Berber community, has a long-standing tradition for producing olive oil using ancient traditional methods. They've been doing that. Crop main source of oil in the Siwa, the olive oil tree, has been a significant crop in the Oasis since ancient times. It has been a crop since ancient times. Yeah, y'all don't even know. They the ones giving y'all this. They the ones sending all that through Egypt. This is the one of the factories, one of our factories, too. Y'all don't even got nothing. Y'all ain't even producing nothing. Supposed to be some great empire. Make it make sense. So in the Oasis, since ancient times, the olive oil is a chief source of income and nutrition. Ancient methods of oil extraction, which likely date to at least the 26th dynasty around 500 BC, when the Siwa had established connections with the Egyptians, involved with ancient Egypt, involves simple manual techniques. Olives were first crushed using basic tools, a mortar, and pressed on later larger stone mills. Let's keep going. All right, the Nile became an arm of the sea and reached the far inland through the countries, and the arm of the sea built up to the Silk and became known as the Nile River Valley today. Over the time, the Silk continued to build up, causing the Nile to flood. The Silk built there, and the fertile sand attracted people, which is evidence of the area inhabiting the Paleolithic and Neolithic eras. These people developed their own cultures, known for the Karm, Fayum, and Maurice. When they settled in the area, they became the first people in Egypt to practice agriculture. Fayum. Fayum, Egypt was founded around 4000 BC. It is one of the oldest continual occupied cities in the world. Fayum, Karm, Maurice. Y'all about to learn about guys now. Let's go ahead and get into it. The Fayum, man. Yeah, that's agriculture. They were the ones that was giving Egypt all everything. So let's keep going, though. The works took centuries to complete by the Mule Muhammad. Let's go on to the next one. I'm going to go one more. All right. The term Garden of Egypt most likely refers to the Fayum Oasis as a highly fertile region, was historically one of the first places in Egypt where agriculture was practiced, contributing significantly to the nation's food security and economic prosperity. Where's your commission development and agriculture? Y'all don't even have no food. You can't even feed yourselves. Trying to say you're supposed to be this big civilization. No, y'all get all that from Berbers. Get it right. Ancient Egyptians developed sophisticated irrigation systems and fire which supported agriculture, enabled the development of elaborate gardens of both practical and pleasure purposes, evolving simple orchids and complex pleasure gardens. The region produced unique fine mummy portraits. Let's keep going. Let's go on to the next one. All right, the origin of, now let's get on to the gods. I'm about to start taking, now let's touch on God. Let's do some God talk. Now we're talking gods here. So the origin of Amun, yeah, Amun-Ra, Amun, ever heard of him? The origin of Amun in relation to the Berber culture debated today is a debated topic, but a leading hypothesis is that the worship of the god Amun had a Berber origin in ancient Libya before spreading to Egypt and Greece. This theory suggests Amun was a Libyan deity who was later incorporated into Egyptian religion. Ancient sources like Herodotus supports this idea, mentioning a divine oracle of Amun, Isa, located among the Libyan and the Siwa oasis. Back to the Siwa oasis where y'all are getting your anointed oil from, and not to mention y'all praising our gods. You praising the Libyan gods, don't even realize it. The historical ancient Greek historian Herodotus mentions the divine oracle of Amun among the Libyans at the Siwa oasis, suggesting the code had a Libyan origin. You know what I'm saying? There you go. It's spread, baby. That's Libya. Let's keep going on to the next slide. Yeah, Amun has both Egyptian and Libyan origins, with the oracle on the Siwa oasis being a Libyan origin, that the Egyptians later identified with their own god Amun. The cult of Amun, the Libyan deity, was worshipped in the Siwa oasis and later became very famous after Alexander the Great visited. Egyptians identified their supreme deity Amun with this Libyan deity, and this is thought that the cult of Amun had originated in Libya before spreading to Egypt. Yeah, we'll let it ride. Yeah, Amun was a major ancient Egyptian deity who appears in the member of the Amram Nagata. Amun was attested from the Old Kingdom, and together him and his wife Amunet and his oracle in the Siwa oasis located in the western near the Libyan desert. Remain the oracle of Amun throughout. You know what I'm saying? So ancient Egyptian deity that's living. That's a birthday.
All right, that is round one for our brother Silky D family. We're gonna bring up Steve, Big Steve, the Kemet Infomunger. Steve, do you see your information on the panel?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, family, we got 48 people in the building with only 14 likes. Family, let's hit that like button. Let everybody know that we are live. We got two gentlemen up here putting on their academia for display for your viewing pleasure. Guys, support the channel, support the brand. Get over there and subscribe to World View Wars. Once again, we are getting ready to start with Steve's time on my count.
Hold
Go.
on, just can you start my clock now, please? Chris?
You have it. Go.
Okay. Round one. Civilization, as mentioned in the debate question title, is much more than a haplogroup. Methodology and historical analysis of the development of early Kemetic civilization compared to Berbers and the cultural relevance of the E1B1B haplogroup. There is no significant specific physical characteristic associated with the E1B1B paternal group. Haplogroups are an indication of migration patterns and gene flow and not a determinant of physical characteristics, culture, or civilization. The E1B1B paternal group is characterized by its high frequency in certain regions of Africa and its presence in other parts of the world, particularly in Europe and the Near East. Despite having the allele or genetic marker, most Europeans today do not have North African physical phenotypic characteristics. Neither do they speak an Afro-Asiatic language originating from the Berber E1B1B haplogroup. It is a major human Y chromosome DNA haplogroup linking from father to son back to a common male line ancestor. I beg to argue that most Europeans are not Berbers or Amazigh. Berber is not their culture or language, even though they have the E1B1B haplogroup. Topic 1. Civilization, as mentioned in the debate question title, is multifaceted compared to a haplogroup. Did the people of ancient Kemet carry the E1B1B paternal haplogroup? As my argument already establishes, belonging to a haplogroup is no dagger or an instant win for my opponent. Thousands of Y DNA and MT or mitochondrial DNA subclades are known, with the count fluctuating as research progresses. Nucleic DNA from both parents and their ancestry and maternal mitochondrial DNA subclades are known. For instance, male Y DNA haplogroup R1b alone has over 25,000 known subgroups, and this number continues to grow with increasing genetic testing. Yes, the ancient Kemet 2 people carried the E1B1B paternal haplogroup. Genetic studies have shown that this haplogroup is the most common paternal group across Africa, including Kemet. E1B1B originates in the north. As people migrated, gene frequencies shift. This haplogroup is also rooted in the east and high frequencies in various African countries, including Kemet. The presence of E1B1B in ancient Kemetic mummies support the idea of genetic continuity across the ancient Kemet 2 people, meaning that people mated with others as they migrated into new territory, and there is genetic mixing. No one single haplogroup, such as E1B1B, determines the establishment of any complex civilization, especially that of ancient Kemet. The ancient Kemet 2 and many others carry the E1B1B haplogroup, but this does not make them Berbers in appearance or culture. A haplogroup does not allow distinguishable Berber and Kemetic cultures to be conflated or combined. The foundational Kemetic king, Erihor, was not Libyan or Berber in cultural identity. Chronology timeline of Kemetic kings' establishment of early civilization. Erihor, pre-dynastic king of Upper Kemet, who ruled around 3170 BCE during Dynasty 0. Ka, Shekent, ruler of Upper Kemet during Dynasty 0 around 3150 BCE. Scorpion II, possibly read as Seelk or Weha, ruled Upper Kemet during the proto-dynastic period of approximately 3100 BCE. Narmer, ruler who unified Upper and Lower Kemet around 3100 BCE and founded the first dynasty. Who was Erihor? He was a pre-dynastic king of Upper Kemet, the south, who ruled around 3170 BCE during Dynasty 0. He is the earliest Kemetic ruler known by name, confirmed through inscriptions in Abydos and a 2012 discovery in Sinai. The Nile River flows from south Upper Kemet to north Lower Kemet, making it one of the few major rivers in the world to do so. Explanation of the flow direction. Civilizations tends to form along rivers. The Nile River is the longest river in the world that originates in the highlands of East Africa, specifically from two main tributaries, the White Nile and the Blue Nile. The White Nile begins in Lake Victoria, while the Blue Nile starts at Lake Tana in Ethiopia. Both of these sources are located in higher elevations, which is a key factor in the river flow direction. As the Nile travels northward, it descends through various terrains, ultimately emptying into the Mediterranean Sea at its delta. The northward flow is primarily dictated by the topography of the land, where water naturally moves from higher elevation to lower ones due to gravity. From airy.org. In 3170 BCE, King Erihor's formation of Kemetic civilization is distinguishable from Libyan pastoralist lifestyle. They are not the same. There was no Berber civilization yet in 3170 BCE. There were Western desert cultures. The ancient Libyan people, the Tamehenu and the Tamehu, early Meshwech tribe groups who lived in ways that would later feed into Amazi ethnogenesis, the formation or emergence of an ethnic group. 3170 BCE was the period of King Eri Hor's establishment of Kemetic pre-dynastic civilization and culture, who existed in Libya, North Africa in 3170 BCE. The people living west of the Nile in this period were the Temenu, earliest Libyan groups, the Temehu, southern Libyan groups, pastoralist communities across the Sahara and coastal Maghreb. These groups are the deep ancestors of later Amazi people, but they are not yet Berbers in the linguistic or cultural sense as recognized today. Why is this? The Proto-Berber language does not appear until much later, 2000 to 1000 BCE. The Amazi cultural heritage, tattoos, matrilineal clans, Libico-Berber script, etc., developed in 1000 BCE in Bronze and Iron Age, not in 3170 BCE pre-dynastic Kemet. In 3170 BCE, there were pre-Berber Libyan cultures compared to the more structured civilization formation of King Eri Hor's Abydos Kemet. Nothing mentioned below belongs to the non-existent Berber linguistic culture of 37 BCE. Eri Hor's tomb is located in el Qua'ab, chambers B1 and B2 in the early king's necropolis of Abydos, Kemet. Historical significance. Considered the early historical attested ruler of Kemet, sometimes cited as the earliest identifiable person in history whose name is known. Meaning of his name. Eri Hor's name is written with the Heru Falcon G5, part of the list of signs organized by Sir Alan Gardner, above a mouth hieroglyph D21. This is read as Eri Hor, though early chematologist Flinda Petrie read it as Ro. This name likely means belonging to Heru, or the mouthpiece of Heru. Was he definitely a king? Most modern chematologists accept Eri Hor as a real king because his name appears on multiple vessels and inscriptions. His tomb at Abydos matches early royal patterns. A 2012 Sinai inscription confirms his existence. Some debate remains because his name does not appear on a serex, the later standard royal frame. This is expected for such an early period before the serex became standard. Eri Hor's ancestry was indigenous North Africa, rooted in Upper Kemet, Nakada III, and Nubian Tasseti populations that formed its earliest civilization. Eri Hor's cranial morphology is that of Sudanese Nubian populations of Tasseti and not Libyan Berbers. There is no evidence that he descended from Levantine, Mesopotamian, or European migrants. Everything about his burial iconography and cultural context places him firmly within the local Nile Valley lineage. What can be said about King Eri Hor's ancestry based on the evidence? Biological ancestry. There is no DNA from Eri Hor's himself. There is, however, skeletal remains from Abydos necropolis, el Qua'ab chambers B1 and B2, remains from Nakada, Bab Ari, and Tasseti, his cultural ancestors. These populations show Northeast African cranial morphology, the shape of the skull, continuity with Southern Sudanese Nubian populations, links to Saharan pastoralists who moved into the Nile Valley from the south as the Sahara dried. This places Eri hordes within a deeply African biological continuum. Round one. The cultural ancestry of Kemetic King Eri hordes traces to the south of in Nubia, Tarseti, and not Libya's non-existent linguistic westward Berbers. Cultural identity. Eri horde emerges directly from Nakata 3 culture, which itself evolved from Badarian, Nakata 1, Nakata 2, Nakata 3. These cultures are indigenous to Upper or Southern Kemet, closely connected to Nubia, Tarseti, part of a long, uninterrupted African cultural development. His tomb at Abydos, B1, B2, follows the same patterns as Ka, expanded Abydos' power into other regions of Kemet. Scorpion 2 carried out major military campaigns into northern Kemet for unification. Narmer unified southern and northern Kemet, all of whom belong to Upper Kemetic royal lines. Geographic ancestry. Eri Hor ruled from Abydos, but his cultural roots extended southwards. The strongest ancestral influence, Upper Kemet Abydos, Heracleopolis, Nubia Tarseti, the earliest known kingdom in Nile Valley, Saharan pastoralists who migrated towards the Nile. Topic 1. Formation of a growing Kemetic culture and proto-state that is distinctly King Ka II, who was not Libyan Berber. Who was King Ka? King Ka II was a ruler of Upper Kemet during Dynasty 0 around 3150 BCE. This was just before the unification of Kemet under Scorpion II and Narmer. He is one of the earliest kings in history whose name can be read. Where he ruled. Ka ruled from the region of Abydos, the spiritual and political heart of early Kemet. His tombs B7 and B9 are located in el Qua'ab. Why King Ka matters. He is one of the first kings to use the serekh. The serekh is the earliest form of the royal name emblem. Ka's serekh appears on pottery, stone vessels, and seal impressions. This shows that kingship was already becoming formalized. Evidence of expanding political power. Artifacts and Ka's name have been found across Upper Kemet, suggesting trade networks, administrative control, and early state formation. He wasn't a local chief as with the Berbers, but he was part of a growing proto-state. How much time I got left? Chris Harris, how much time I got left?
You got 1 minute.
Okay. So I'll just, as an introduction to round two, King Ka tombs revealed that he was not Libyan Berber. What is the meaning of King Ka's name? His name is written with the raised arm hieroglyph, which can mean Ka, the vital essence or spirit, probably also second, meaning to embrace. Because writing was still experimental, scholars debate the exact reading, but the symbol is unmistakable. What his tomb reveals. Ka's tomb shows mud brick construction, multiple chambers, early funerary goods, and
time.
Thank you so much.
All right. Family, round one is in the books. Round one is in the books. That is Kemet Infomunger. Round one is in the books. We're going to bring back up Silky D. Silky D. Put him back up on the stage. Hope you guys are enjoying the debate tonight. Guys, hit that like button. Let everybody know that we are live. We are live, brothers and sisters. Hit the like button. Let everybody know we are live. Support the platform. Silky D. On my time, go.
Okay, go one more over for me. We on that's a mine right there. We on ball right now. Just one over. Okay, good stuff. All right, y'all. You ready?
Go ahead.
I bet. So now I'm glad you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you wanted to talk gods. I appreciate that. I like that. I want to talk gods too, you know what I'm saying? Because it sure look like these Egyptians are praising a bunch of Libyan origin deities here for some reason. But let's get into it. Now, the meaning of the first name Baal is identified as a Phoenician deity covered under the name Baal. However, this meaning of his second name, Haman, is a secret association with Amun, the goddess of ancient Libya, whose temple was in the Sea Oasis, where the only oracle of the Amun remained in the part of the Libyan desert all throughout the ages. So Libya is the only one that never even had an oracle all throughout the ages. I don't even know what that means. All throughout the ages, they had an oracle, and this oracle was somebody they had to go see. So, so the oracle all throughout the ages. This connection to Amun makes it possible to equate Baal Haman, Lord of the Sky, to either Zeus or Kronos. You don't even know who they coming from. Let's keep going. Going to the next one. Let's go to the next slide. There you go. Another god. Let's get into these gods. The oldest evidence is Sobek, the god Sobek. All right, that's before Ra. That's before Amun. Yeah, let's talk here. Let's get deep. The oldest evidence of Sobek's worship in the location that would become known as Fayum Oasis, which borders the Libyan desert, is from the Nagata III phase around 3100 BC. This evidence includes a clay seal, impressions found in the pre-dynastic Tekron necropolis that named Narmer, the first pharaoh of the first dynasty, depict a crocodile with a shrine. The Fayum was center of the Sobek's worship in the earliest times. It was considered the god of the region's lakes and canals, aka the Nile. And over here, it looks like your god, your king is praising my God. Catch the connection? Yeah, Libyan. Yeah, you see how you even try to run that there and you still get sniped down? Yeah, it worked like that, real easy like. All right, the earliest association with Sobek of the Fayum region comes from the Nadic third year, all that good stuff. Like, so let's keep going on to the next one. Sobek, the crocodile god associated with the Nile through creation myths, was it where he was originating the primeval waters of Nun to create the world and the Nile River from his sweat. So this guy coming from Libya, which is a Berber region, is the one that all of y'all even getting your guys from. This is one of the original guys. Also, it's one of the guys when they put your heart on the scale and see if it's light as a feather. Sobek is the one that eats your heart, aka. But that's he's a pre-dynastic. That's ancient. Yeah, his origins are linked to the Old Kingdom. Of course, Old Kingdom. This is way before everything was even going. We're seen as a violent god, local deity of the Fayum Oasis. The grew of prominence in the cult spread throughout Egypt during the Middle Kingdom. He was also considered son of Nith or Set. Son of Nith or Set. So if Sobek, this god is a Libyan god, what do you think Nith and Set is? Huh? Let's get into it. Next slide. Tanit and Neith are originally a Berber Libyan goddess venerated by the Berbers of the North Africa from immemorial times. Poets and scholars of all ages know her as the goddess Nith. There is no doubt that the Nith and the ancient Egyptians, Tanit of the Phoenicians, and Athena of the Greeks were none other than the Libyan goddess Tanit. The goddess Nith is one of the oldest goddesses in the world, and her shrine is attested in Egypt from pre-dynastic times. She was a patron deity in the city of Sais in the western Nile Delta and Lower Egypt. Her Berber name, Tanit, was said to mean Tanit, meaning land of Nit, in reference to ancient Libya. Today's North African as a whole. People being her original home, according to Herodotus, Tanit, whom we called Athena, was venerated by the Libyan Amazon around Lake Tritonos. You know what I'm saying? Nith, Sobek, all these Zeus, all these gods, all of them got Libyan Berber origin. You don't even know it. Let's talk about Kemet. Boy, y'all don't have a clue. Look at the meaning of this thing was interpreted in many ways. The most popular with associations, her name with the water, personification, the primordial waters, the goddess Nith. You know what I'm saying? What an old goddess girl. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going. Most skill. All right. The most remarkable common god between Egyptian and Berber culture was Amun, king of the gods and gods of the winds. He was adopted by ancient Egyptians as Amun-Ra, by the Greeks and Zeus Amun, and by the Phoenicians as Ba-Amun. All right, all these people are adopting my Libyan god, my Berber Amazigh god. All of y'all are praising my gods. Representing the human form sometimes with the ram's head. Early depictions of the ram's head have been found across North Africa, dating to 9600 BC to 7500 BC. The most famous temple of Amun in ancient Libya was Agro temple of Siwa in Egypt, An oasis still inhabited by Berbers, although the most modern sources ignore the existence of Amun in the Berber mythology. He was honored by the ancient Greeks in Cyrenaica and was united in the Phoenician god Baal due to Libyan influence. Once again, all Berber. Once again, all Libyan. Influence and worship of ancient Egyptian gods. Among the ancient Berber Egyptian mythology, there were similar overlapping deities. The Berbers were neighbors of the Egyptians, really inhabited lands for Libya for thousands of years before the beginning of human records in ancient Egypt. Way before ancient Egypt can be way before y'all even knew what letters was, how to write, any of that stuff. Y'all didn't have a clue.
Pause. Sorry for getting in the way of your ethos again. What slide are you on? You're not telling
me. My bad. Go over one.
All right. Are we on this slide right here, Silky?
One more. No, give me one more.
All right.
I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. I'm on that one.
All right. Let me know when to change the slide, okay?
Let me know when I'm down to my 5 minutes too, if you don't mind.
All right. I'm starting you back right now.
I bet. All right. Original inhabitants in the lands of Libya for thousands of years before the beginning of human records in ancient Egypt. It is thought that some ancient Egyptian deities such as Isis and Set were originally worshipped by the Berbers. Osiris was one of the Egyptian deities paid homage to in Libya, and some scholars believed Osiris was originally a Libyan god. I done took Osiris, I done took Set, I'm taking Isis, I'm taking Amun, I'm taking Sobek, I'm taking Baal. Y'all better stop playing with me. None of y'all got a clue what y'all talking about. None of y'all, all of y'all are all wrong. And I'm about to hear the teller and let all y'all know, throw all your information out because it's outdated and it ain't accurate. It's out there. Throw it out. Toss it. Yeah, get rid of it. So Osiris was Egypt living in some scholars. Osiris, Berbers supposedly did not eat swine flesh because they associated with Set, and they did not eat cow flesh because it was associated with Isis. This was reported by Herodotus. This is coming from Herodotus, y'all. I'll go on to the next slide. The Egyptians and the Berbers share some heritage, speak specific languages, belong to the same Kemetic branch of the Afro-Asiatic language. Family Egyptian worship by the Berber goddess Nith and set pre-dynastic times under various names, including Net or Nit, her main city in the Tanis of North Egypt, an area inhabited by Berbers long before the pharaohs and invasions of the Lower Egypt. The virgin mother goddess, the goddess Nith, had no male consort. She was the one who existed, who is, and who will be. Hence, her parthenogenesis nature as a mother of Osiris and form of Isis was later transferred to Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, biting off the Berbers, biting off Libyans. Let's keep going. Go next slide. Nith, also spelled Nit, Net, or Neith, was an ancient Egyptian goddess, possibly Libyan origin. Yeah, we know all that already. She was associated with warfare, symbolized here and her motherhood. The text refers to the mother of deities such as sun god Ra and crocodile god Sobek. Once again, all that's Libyan. Keeps Berber all day long. And you don't even know when you're saying Tahino and the Tamino and the Libyans, those are all Berbers and the Shashu. Those are Berber also. Next slide. All right, I'm going to shoot down to the bottom. Let me see. Okay, and the Nilo-Saharan nominal language today contains a number of key loanwords related to pastoralism that are of Berber origin, including the terms for sheep and water Nile. This in turn suggests that the Sea group population, which along with the Khmer culture inhabited the Nile Valley, immediately before the arrival of the first Nubian speakers, spoke Afro-Asiatic languages. Did you hear what I just told y'all? I just told y'all the Berbers were here before your Nubians. So your Nubians are your Berbers. They just come later on. Let's keep going on to the next slide. Appearance and reputation. At his earliest appearance in the 5th dynasty of the Old Kingdom, late century, 24th century BC, Osiris is depicted as the head and upper torso of the god. Hieroglyphic symbols of Osiris' name. He is also illustrated right around the mummy. Yep, Osiris. Took him already. Keep going. Let's go. Keep next slide. Next slide. One more. Because I got to cut some stuff. All right, Akhenaten's Libyans are reinterpreting a relief fragment from the mortuary temple of Amenhotep II. That's 2024. Like I said, I need to update y'all information. On to the next slide. Okay, ram art, right? But once again, back to the ram art. Time period, rock art found across North Africa has been dated back to as early as 9600 BC, with the Tahil in the Afar region. Rock painting date roughly 12,000 years ago, approximately 10,000 BC. This places artwork with the Neolithic period, when the Sahara was fertile and savanna. See, Sobek is when it was green and fertile. They used to have alligators and all that stuff. And then the ram art is Osiris, Amun, and all, and Baal, all them, Poseidon. A whole lot of them rock the ram. So this is, what I'm saying, once again, it's all living, it's all Berber. Let's keep going on to the next slide. Prehistoric rock art came backgrounds to the found in North Africa, dating back far. Yeah, we read that one already. Okay, after about our Carthage for the ABC, Phoenician the city interacted with the Berber tribes, began to adopt Berber deities. Phoenician gods ball associated secret with form, a deity of Baal-Haman, potentially due to Libyan Berber influence. Yep, scholars all know that. Yep, what they say? Some scholars suggest the name of the Tuareg, the other Tuareg for the god Amun and related to Amun. Let's keep going on. Next slide.
5 minutes.
All right, bet. Next, yeah, there we go. Okay, Amunet was a goddess of the underworld and consort of Amun. She was greeted out of all the people of the land of the dead and the bread of the water. If they ate and drank, they could not return to the land of the living. Amunet was portrayed adorned with 2 feathers, which were common adornments of ancient Libyans when drawn by the Egyptians. So the Egyptians are drawing Libyan information, Libyan stuff. Once again, Amun, Berber, Libyan. Let's keep going. Go one more over. One more. Oh, no, that's good, I think. All right, right there, yeah. No, go back. All right, yeah, that's straight. All right, cool. Pastoralism. Go study pastoralism, everybody. Go look up pastoralism. Check this right here, all right? Pastoralists, right there, right? Check it. The earliest pastoralists who brought domesticated sheep, goat, and cattle along with them to the Central Sahara amid the pastoral period, 8,000, 7,000 BC, have been characterized as the Proto-Berbers. Once again, Berbers, you don't even have no food. You can't even feed yourself. Next slide. Oh, man. Okay, go one more over. Since you want to talk genetics, the first range of genomes of Green Sahara are deciphered. New study reveals a long isolated North African human lineage of Central Sahara during the African hominid period more than 7,000 years ago. This coming from Max Planck. Yeah, I got to go before that one, but I'm going to keep it going on. I'm going to keep it pushing. Let me see. Control over Egypt. I ain't going to hit you with that one. Keep going. I need to go like, we're going to fly like, probably like, let me see. Go up like 7. Actually, you know, go up to the one that says Cryosphinx, actually. So that's pastoralist. I already proved the Berbers are the first pastoralist. It says Cryosphinx on it.
Cryosphinx.
Right there you go. Right there. All right, what's my time?
You got 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 48 seconds.
Yeah, it's on my clock. I thought you stopped me a second ago.
I'll give you 40 more seconds. Go ahead.
The Cryosphinx, everybody, let me let y'all over the Cryosphinx. Cryosphinx is the ancient Egyptian creature with the head of the ram and the body of a lion. The Cryosphinx represents the power of the pharaoh. The powerful and primeval god Amun was depicted having a head and curved horn ram. Hence, the Cryosphinx represented great power, often lined precisional walkways or temples. So all through Egypt, y'all are worshiping these Cryosphinx. Go on to the next slide. Amun, the name of a Libyan deity, and his oracle of the desert, it became famous. Alexander the Great made a detour to consult the god and modern sea oasis. Once again, keep going on to the next one. So that was Amun again. So once again, the Egyptians are steady praising them. Going to one more over. All right, that's cool right there. All right, last common ancestors among the humans, the Neanderthals, probably found in Casablanca, Morocco. All right, the collection of bones, Casablanca holds important new clues, the origins of modern humans and Neanderthals. Keep going on one more, 2 more. I'm gonna just hit you with. No, go one more over. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, we're going to the end. Yeah, keep going. All right, yeah, that's good right there. All right, Morocco cave fossils are the possible missing links in human evolution. Jawbones and other remains similar to specimens found in Europe were dated to 773,000 years ago to help close the gap in African fossil record of human origins. On to the next slide. The new G4G model has allowed a more robust and refined analysis, which clearly separates the 2 people more than 20,000 years ago when the Amazigh returned to Africa from Eurasia in a movement known as Back to Africa, says Oscar Lau, principal investigator of the Institute of Evolutionary Biology. Head leading guy. Next slide. All right, Carthage was not Phoenician. Groundbreaking DNA study confirms indigenous North African roots. So even all that Phoenician, all that Levant, all that North African, all that's Berber, all that's North African, man. All that's indigenous right in the proof. That's 2025. That just came out. Genetics. Yeah, since you want to talk genetics. For decades, Carthage has been depicted as a Phoenician colony found and shaped by settlers in ancient Levant. This narrative has long dominated historian and academic discourse, but a new genetic study is now rewriting that history. That's what I'm doing, rewriting our history. And you know what I'm saying? And there it go, man. You know, that your boy Silk, I just hit y'all with a little bit of, you can go back 3. If I got a little time, I'll read y'all some more. All right, right there. Yeah, I think right there. Okay, yeah. Recently published in the prestigious journal Nature, a study confirms that Carthage and many cities once labeled Phoenician colonies were in fact indigenous settlements, primarily Amazigh, Numidian, and Libyan origin, conducted by a team of scientists from Harvard University and Germany's Max Planck Institute. The research analyzed ancient DNA from the remains of 210 individuals across 14 archaeological sites, spanning Lebanon, Tunisia, Spain, Sicily, Sardinia, and Ibiza. A study found that the Phoenician settlers. Let me finish my statement. I got to finish my line.
I said finish it on out.
Okay, but yeah. All right. The study found that Phoenician settlers not consistently mixed with the local population they encountered. The vast majority of the inhabitants were local North Africans. While Phoenician traders did exist within these cities, they were a small minority. This breakthrough aligns with the personally advocate for over 30 years, challenging the colonial narrative that erased the indigenous presence and the agency in the region. And yeah, there you go, man. Max Planck, Harvard. Holla at your boy.
All right. Round 2 is in the books for Silky D. That is round 2 in the books for Silky D. We're going to be removing him, and we're going to be bringing up Kemet Infomunger in the building. Let's get your presentation up there. Your time for 15-minute time starts now. Unmute your mic. I'll reset your time.
Speaker.
All right. Okay, so I'm ready. Let's go. Topic 2. In King's Ka, 3150 BCE, there was no Berber civilization to rival Kemet. What was the state of Berber civilization in 3150 BCE, the time of King Ka Sheken? Here is the scholarly summary. There was no comparable Berber civilization that can contrast Kemet in 3150 BCE. There were early Libyan pastoralist societies, proto-Amazigh ancestors, tribal group with cattle culture, oasis settlements, and Saharan rock art traditions. No writing, no cities, no king, no state formation. Amazigh civilization, a recognizable cultural and linguistic entity, emerges much later, during the Bronze Age, especially the Iron Age of 1200 to 500 BCE. Scorpion King II, 32nd century BC, ruler of Upper Kemet, was not a Berber. Who was King Scorpion II? Scorpion II, probably read as Selk or Weha, was a ruler of Upper Kemet during the proto-dynastic period, Dynasty 0, around the 32nd century BCE. He ruled just before Narmer and is one of the last kings involved in the political unification of Kemet. How is his existence known? Scorpion II is attested through several major archaeological finds. The Scorpion mace head at the Ashmolean Museum, a large ceremonial limestone mace head discovered at Heracleopolis that depicts Scorpion II wearing the white crown of Upper Kemet. Depictions of him performing a ritual act like irrigation or conquest with defeated groups represented by standards in artwork. These are primary artifacts confirming Scorpion II's kingship. A rock carving and statuette supports that King Scorpion II was Kemetic as opposed to Berber. How King Scorpion II's existence is known. Serex with scorpion glyphs. His name appears inside a serex, the early royal name frame marked with a scorpion hieroglyph, distinguishing him from the earlier scorpion one of Abydos or Abydos. Additional evidence. Other possible attestations include the Gebel Sherik's Suleiman rock carving and the Munich statuette. Both of these support King Scorpion II's historical existence and royal status, where he ruled. Scorpion II is associated with Heracleopolis, Nekhen, a major power center in Upper Kemet during the Naqada II period. This region was the political engine driving the unification of Kemet. King Scorpion II Kemetic state formation has nothing to do with Berbers. King Scorpion II's rule in early Kemetic state formation. Archaeological interpretation suggests Scorpion II exercised military dominance over eastern desert groups, controlled significant territories in Upper Kemet, used royal iconography that directly precedes Narmer's, participated in final consolidation of power before the First Dynasty. The maced head imagery, bound standards, royal regalia, and ceremonial action shows a king's asserting centralized authority. King Narmer, Horde Narmer of Kemet, not a Libyan Berber. Who was King Narmer? Narmer was the ruler who unified Upper and Lower Kemet around 3100 BCE and founded the First Dynasty. Most scholars consider him the first king of a united Kemet, and many identify him as the legendary figure Menes. Narmer's identity and title. Narmer appears in early Kemetic writing with several royal names. Heru name, Hordhammer, the catfish of Heru, possibly prenomen, men basis for linking him to Menes. Dynasty, First Dynasty, reign 3100 BCE. His name is written with the catfish and chisel signs, the same symbols seen on the famous Narmer palette. King Narmer unified and centralized the Kemetic state. In Libya, there was no Berber civilization. Who lived in Libya in 3100 BCE? Early in Libyan groups, the Tejhenu and Tejmenhu, these are the people Kemetic text later describes as Libyan. They lived in the western desert west of the Nile, across Serenka, Fazan, and the Saharan oasis, and in small kin-based tribal groups. They had no civilization. They are the ancestors of later Burma Amazi people, but Amazi identity as known today did not yet exist. No centralized state. In 3100s, the Berbers had no centralized state. There was no Libyan kingdom or Berber civilization in 3100. No cities, no monumental architecture, no writing, no unified political structure. Instead, the region was a mosaic of mobile pastoral clans and oasis communities. That's what they were. King Narmer, 3100 BCE, unifier of Kemet, not Libyan Berbers. Why Narmer is historically important? He was the unifier of Kemet. Narmer is widely credited with completing the political unification of Upper Kemet South and Lower Kemet North. This fact created the world's first long-lasting territorial state, founder of the First Dynasty. Seal impressions from later King Denquaa list Narmer as the first king of the First Dynasty. The Narmer palette. one of the most iconic artifacts in world archaeology, shows Narmer wearing both the white crown Upper Kemet and red crown Lower Kemet. Depicts defeated enemies and symbolic unification, establishes early kingship iconography. Libyan pastoral society could not have established Narmer's militaristic Kemet. We're talking about time, what was going on during this time frame. The Libyans was pastoralist, but Narmer was militaristic. How could pastoralists develop a militaristic state? Libya's economy and pastoral lifestyle was not sophisticated enough to establish Kemet. Economy and daily life, pastoral nomadism. The backbone of life was herding cattle, goats, and sheep. These groups of Libyan moves seasonally across the desert margins. Oasis agriculture. In wetter pockets, Fizad and Seranasekia, early grain civilization used wells and natural springs on small semi-sedentary settlements, hunting and gathering. Rock art shows cattle herds, wild fauna, and ritual scenes. This art dates back thousands of years before Narmer and continued into his era. Culture, appearance, and identity. Rock art traditions. The Tadrat, Akasis, and Misat Plateau contain some of the world's richest prehistoric art. Pastoral scenes, ritual dances, distinctive hairstyles, and body markings. These visual traditions are among the earliest cultural markers of Proto-Amazigh. This language, they likely spoke an early Proto-Asiatic dialect as an ancestral language to later Berber. This was related to ancient Kemetic, Kushite, and Semitic languages. King Narmer's establishment of Kemetic Dynasty I has nothing to do with Berbers. What Narmer actually did, administrative integration. After conquest, Narmer reorganized the new kingdom, establishing Memphis. Evidence suggests that Narmer founded or expanded Memphis, strategically placed it at the border of Upper and Lower Kemet. This allowed him to control delta trade routes, Nile traffic, and northern agriculture. Bureaucratic expansion. Seal impressions from Abydos show early administrative titles and officials under Narmer. This is the beginning of state taxation, record keeping, and centralized authority. Building the first dynasty. Narmer's tomb at el Qua'ab, B17 and B18 marks him as the founder of Dynasty I. Later kings Den Quaa list him as the first legitimate ruler of a united Kemet. This means the Kemet II people themselves remember Narmer as a unifier. Libya was not a unified military threat to invade Kemet and establish its civilization and culture. Social structure, highly mobilized, clan-based, led by chiefs and elders, organized around cattle wealth and kingship. And kinship, relationship with Kemet around Narmer's time. No major conflicts. Large Libyan Kemetic wars appeared much later in the New Kingdom around 1300 to 1100 BCE, not in the time of Narmer. In 31 BCE, the time of Narmer, early contact was limited. Contact was mostly trade, grazing interactions, and border frictions. Libyan groups were not a unified threat. They were not a unified threat. They lived too diffusely to challenge the emerging Kemetic state. Emerging Kemetic state, Kemetic perceptions. The Kemet II saw Western people as desert nomads and cattle herders. who were distinct in hairstyle and dress. These depictions appear in early iconography. Climate context. The Sahara was drying. By 31 BCE, the Green Sahara was ending. Lakes were shrinking. Pastoralists were pushing towards oases and the Nile, mobility increased as resources declined. This environmental pressure
2 minutes.
shaped Libyan society and later migration. Kemetic unifying King Narmer, aka Menes, was not historically Berber. Archaeological evidence for Narmer. Narmer is exceptionally well attested for such an early king. Narmer palette, Heracanopolis, seal impressions from Abydos, stone vessels inscribed with his name, rock carvings showing military victories. His tomb at el Qua'ab, chambers 7, B17 and B18 places him in the same royal cemetery as King Ka, Scorpion II, and the first dynasty king. Narmer versus Menes. Ancient historians like Menathos, later Kemetic priest of the Ptolemaic era, credit Menes with founding Kemet. Contemporary scholars generally consider Narmer as Menes, or Narmer began unification and Hor-Ahor, probably Narmer's son, completed it. But the strongest archaeological evidence points to Narmer as the unifier. Narmer place in the early king sequence. Kemetic spiritual culture and civilization is distinguishable from that of Libyan Berbers. Around 31 BCE, Kemetic spirituality was already a structured temple-based cosmology centered on divine order Ma'at, sacred kingship, and a pantheon tied to Nile cycles. In contrast, early Libyan spirituality was decentralized, animistic, and rooted in desert ecology, focusing on ancestral spirits, cattle symbolism, and oasis-based sacred sites. Kemet had a formal priesthood and state rituals. Libyan groups had clan-based ritual specialists and mobile sacred practices.
All right, family. This is the best time of the event. Silky D, cam on up. All cameras on. This is everybody's favorite moment, the moment everybody's been waiting for. It is the chin check session. With that being said, since Steve is the negative, he is going to go first with his list of questions. Steve, you are on the floor. Let me set the clock for you. You got 12 minutes. Let me set this clock here. Give me 1 second. Brothers and sisters, hit that like button. Let everybody know that we are live. Hit the like button. Support the brand. With that being said, guys, we are getting ready to get into the chin check session. With that being said, Steve, you are the negative. The negative goes first with his line of questioning. You got the floor. Take it away and go.
Okay, Silky, where you at? Silky. Hi, Silky.
Okay, let me stop time. Silky got up. Let's start that over. All right, Silky, have a seat, man. Let's get this on. It's the chin check session, man. All right, Steve, this is your time. You got the floor. Go.
Okay, so Silky, you mentioned that the Berbers were pastoralists. So that's a diffused group of people, like nomad types, right? So in order to establish civilization, there has to be some form of unification, I would think, right? My question to you is, who unified the Berbers?
Who unified the Berbers?
Yes.
Who unified the Berbers are going back so far. Like, who unified them? They've through the language. I don't know. They've always been all through history. Like it's just been them. Like it's really them only. It's really not nobody else. More the stories are more so them.
It's only Berbers.
In the ancient times, and like I said, Numidians and Nubians, Your Cometians, your Egyptians, all those ancient people.
Hold on. Nubians are also Berbers.
Your Natufians. Okay.
Natufians are from the Levant.
You didn't see my source that said the Levant origins of Berbers?
The Levant and Nubia. So what Silky, you're conflating a whole bunch of people and not giving them any credit for their own culture, for their own language. So my question now becomes, what is the criteria that you're using to conflate all of these very distinct group of people? What is the criteria? What is the yardstick? What is the measure that you're using to conflate or to merge all of these distinct groups of people?
Let me know when you're ready for me to answer.
I did. That's my question. What is the yardstick? What is the measure? What is your
okay? Well, let me show you. Okay, so let me speak from the source here. Okay, so even Carthage through DNA and genetics, from as current as May 30th, 2025, unless you got something more current than that,
so
you know, as in 2026.
Okay, before you continue, you said genetics. So what genetics? What gene?
Okay,
what gene or what is it
so
that makes
the North African genetics?
Hold on. What that makes them all the same? That
The genetic the North African genetic, okay, has traces in it, and it goes further back than you would know. That's why it goes so far back. It's out of Africa. You don't comprehend. It's always saying when the Amazigh left and returned back to Eurasia. I gave you that source from the lead investigator of genetic and evolutionary and all that. I read you that source, and I showed you another source saying. Hold on. But you're asking. I'll show you multiple genetic sources.
Okay, can I ask you a question? So because they have this gene, that makes everyone Berber because of this gene.
Well, in that time, they was the Berber. Like your people, all the rest of the people don't really come mix until way later.
Okay, you're not answering the question. I'm asking you, since today, in that time and this time, people still have that gene. So which means that we're all Berber.
Okay, you want me to answer the question?
Yes. So
okay, let me answer the question. Okay.
Let me
so pay attention. Hold on.
Let me make the question clear to you, Silky. Not only in that time, but in this time also, whatever that gene is, and you haven't identified that gene, it would be good if you would name that gene or that haplogroup. So seemingly that is prevalent in all people. So which means, according to you, everybody's a Berber.
He's not even asking questions. He's just rambling. Go ahead.
Is everybody a Berber, Silky?
Can I talk? You ready for the answer? All right. So Carthage, right? I'm just reading from the source. I'm reading from current sources. Let me know when you got current ones. So Carthage, that's just the first word, Carthage, right? Let's keep going. Was not Phoenician. So the Phoenicians, yes? So now I just told you Carthage and Phoenician, right? So the Carthaginians and even the Phoenicians, okay, are what? Groundbreaking DNA study confirms those are indigenous North African roots, okay? Read word for word, verbatim by the geneticists coming from Harvard and Max Planck from current sources.
Okay.
So I don't know what you're saying.
Please stop digressing from my question. You're just quoting a geneticist, but what gene?
You're arguing against Harvard.
Oh my goodness!
You're arguing against Max Planck right now.
Okay, it's my turn to ask the question.
Yeah, let me hear it.
It's my turn to. Yes.
But I read you two groups already, right? I said
Time. Silky, Steve is asking a question. He just wants you to answer the question clearly. Answer it clearly. Steve, I'm getting ready to reset your time. It's going to be start your time back up now.
Thank you. So since you're quoting a geneticist, what is that gene? What is that Carthaginian gene? What is that Berber gene? What is the gene? Name the gene.
You name the gene. Well, I'm guessing it's probably A0.
Okay, so you're not sure of the gene.
That would be the basal lineage haplogroup.
Okay, you mentioned the Garamantes, correct? And then with the Garamantes, you talked about 500 BC, right? And the title talks about the establishment of Kemetic civilization. What does the Garamantes of 500 BC have to do with the beginning of the establishment of Kemetic civilization in 3170 BCE? What do they have? What does that have to do with the establishment of Kemetic civilization?
Well, before they was the Garamantes, they was the Tahinus.
That's a long stretch of time, Silky. You're going from about five. Okay, so the Garamantes are 500 BC.
I got you. I mean, go ahead.
When were these Tehinamus or the Tajehemus and the Tajehenus? When were they?
The Tahinu, that's ancient Egypt. That's before your unification.
That's not Egypt, Silky.
It's not Egypt. You're right. It's Africa.
Those are Libyans.
They are Libyans.
Right.
Well, all of Libya before it's Egypt.
So even geography is being conflated here. There's no distinction. Geography and landmass. There's no distinction between territories. So Egypt or Kemet is Libya, and Libya is Kemet. So also Nubia and the south is the north, and the north is the south, and everything.
But the oracles in Libya and all the gods are Libyan origin. So, and all your fixtures, everything you're praising is Libyan. I hate to break it to you, which AKA is Berber.
I'm not.
I know it hurts, man.
Can I go?
I know I'm killing a lot of y'all right now.
No, my next question. What is the headdress of Amun? Silky, the Berber. What is the headdress of Amun?
The headdress of Amun? It's rams. The ram head. Well, he has a few different he has a few.
Okay, a ram head. Okay, the ram head. What does that ram head symbolize?
It symbolizes Sobek.
Sobek is a ram now? I thought Sobek was a crocodile.
He is a crocodile.
So he's a crocodile and a ram.
Yeah, but the ram art, as I read in my presentation, goes back 9600 BC, where they was praising all that all across the Libyan desert. Did you not pay attention to that? I read that source. The ram art goes back 9700 BC. Would you like to see that source? I can show you that one.
Okay, so how can you say that the Berbers established Kemetic civilization when Kemet has a higher civilization than the Berbers? When the Berbers had no civilization, Kemet already had a highly developed civilization. So how could a place that has no pyramids, that has no monuments, that has no established state, how could they then establish a state?
Didn't you say in your own sources they was pastoralists? So you said they was traveling pastoralists. So that means they're able to take their business on the road, is what you mean? You mean to tell me I got 18 wheelers and you just got a little shack market, but I got commercialized globally.
But in 3170, 3150, 3100, they had no business. Their business was cows and sheep and goats. That was their business. They were pastoralists. They didn't have much of a civilization. They had culture, but
what about Sobek? He's an alligator.
Okay, so you're talking about spirituality, right? So
when the Nile is fertile.
Hold on, Silky. Is Sobek spirituality the establishment of civilization? Yes or no?
Is Sobek you didn't see my sources says he established the Nile. He established the Nile from his own sweat. You didn't see that source?
So
according to your Egyptian Commission records.
Nile Valley civilization. All right, Silky. Name four Berber kings, Silky. Name four Berber kings that unified the Berber kingdom, Silky.
You know what? I'll give you more than four. I'll give you more than four just because I'm nice.
Go ahead.
Just because I'm feeling nice right now.
Right.
Did you know that the Ptolemy dynasty?
No, not Ptolemies. Stick to, don't digress.
I'm digressing.
Stop flim-flamming.
I'm flim-flamming.
Stop flim-flamming. Stick
Can
to
I
the
answer you?
topic and
Can
title.
I answer you?
Right?
Yeah, it's ugly work out here. So you ready for the answer? Let me know when you want this dagger, when you want this nuke dropped.
Okay, so you can't name no Berber
I'm
kings.
trying to tell you if you let me talk.
Then you went on and you talked about Neanderthals.
Yeah, you gonna let me talk?
What did Neanderthals?
Let me answer you the king.
But no,
Let me give you the king names.
You're flim-flamming.
Oh,
What
I'm trying to help you out, man.
You mentioned Neanderthals, Silky. What do Neanderthals have to do with the establishment of Kemetic civilization? Were Neanderthals a Berber? Were they Kemetic? Why did you bring up Neanderthals, Silky?
Well, I was showing you archaeology, how it even went to 773,000, and they said it's the meet some link between both, and plus you got the majority of the fossils in Morocco. So I was just showing you it's definitely from the north, more so than anywhere else, and common in sources and genetics proves that. Archaeology proves that. Pastoralism and farming proves that. Paleontology proves that. Obviously, as I showed y'all.
Go ahead, baby.
All right. The chin check session is in play. We got Silky D getting ready to question Steve, the Kemet Infomunger. With that being said, I'm going to start your time. Silky D, you got the floor. Take it away. Go.
Okay, I got some questions here for you, buddy. The Tahinu, do you know what language they speak?
Some kind of proto-Berber.
A Berber, so it is some sort of Berber, right? Some sort of Berber. That's your answer? That's your final answer?
Proto-Berber.
Proto-Berber. Okay, let's get into it. The Garamantes, what language do they speak?
I don't know. You mentioned the Garamantes.
It's a Berber language. Let's keep going. The Phoenicians, where are they origin from? What do they speak? Where's their DNA coming from?
Okay, DNA does not mean the establishment of a culture, does not mean the establishment of a language, and does not mean the establishment of a civilization. DNA is just DNA. That's what it is.
It's all North African, as coming from Harvard and Max Planck. For everybody at home that want to go against academics and science and whatnot, they can't deal with real information. But let's hold on. It's on my time. Okay, Carthaginians. What language do they speak?
What language did they speak?
Mm-hmm.
Carthage no longer exists. What language did they speak? Carthaginian.
It's Berber. It's Berber. It's a form of Berber. Punic.
Amazi.
It's Carthaginians speak a form of Berber. They speak Amazi as Berber. So Punic. What language do they speak?
Punic. Where's Punic?
The Punic.
Hold on. Let me ask you. Where's Punic? Where is it?
That's North Africa.
The Punic Wars. So what's the Punic Wars? I
said, what language do they speak? Are you going to answer the question?
Okay, but when? Let me ask you.
It's on my time.
When were they speaking this
language? Are you going to answer what language do they speak? The Punic language. What language is that?
Okay. What does this have to do with the establishment?
Okay, it's a Berber language. He doesn't know.
What does this have to do with the establishment of Kemetic civilization?
So did you not know that the Levantine DNA is majority North African? Was you not aware of that?
What does this have to do
Answer
with
the question? Was you not aware of that? Yes or no?
Okay, time. Steve, Silky D is asking you a question. He's asking you a direct question.
Yes.
Just answer the question for him, okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Silky D, I'm giving you 10 more seconds. Go.
All right. So, was you aware that the Levantine DNA was North African? The ancient Levantine. Was you not aware of that? Yes or no?
From the Levant?
The ancient Levantine DNA, yes. Origins North African.
No, I wasn't aware.
I can see that because, like I said, I showed y'all Max Planck and Harvard. So the Tajinu one that you mentioned, what language do they speak?
I don't know.
It's Berber. The Libyans, what language do they speak?
I don't know.
It's Berber. The Ptolemies, what language do they speak?
They spoke they had to speak a combination of Greek and what the indigenous language of Kemet at that time. So the Ptolemies they're Greek, so they couldn't have been speaking Berber, Silcodonia.
Well, everybody look that up. He's lying. Let's go for the record. He's telling a lie. The Ptolemies are Berber origin. Look it up. I hate to break your heart.
Origin. So Greeks.
You know what? Hold on, it's on my time. How long? Hold on. This is how cold, how nasty I am. How long did the Ptolemies? How long did they rule Egypt?
Hold on, time. Did you say stop your time?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, we back now. He was almost, you know what I'm saying? Good looking though.
That's an official timeout. Okay.
Nah, but all right, my man. So the Ptolemies, how long did they rule Egypt?
Dynasties. The last one was
You Googling it up, man? You already looking it up?
what am I Googling?
Right, so he doesn't know. So they ruled it from the last 300 years. Don't worry about it. I'll let y'all have that one in the house. So Sobek, was you not aware of Sobek being the ancient god of the Nile, the one that the originator of the Nile? Was you not aware of that?
What's the title of the debate, Silky?
The Nile. I'm taking all that. Obviously I rule all that. Whatever you want to call it, I run it all. So can you answer the question?
You're flim.
Can you answer the question?
No, you're flim.
Okay, so did you know Amun was a Libyan deity? Yes or no?
No, I did not know.
Did you know Osiris was a Libyan deity? Yes or no?
No, I did not know.
Did you know that Nith was a Libyan deity? Yes or no?
You haven't proven that they were, and I didn't know.
I showed Buku amount of it's a yes or no question first off, and I showed plenty of sources proving all that. Did you know? Oh, yeah, man. So did you know the Berbers were the first pastoralists?
Pastoralism is civilization, Silky.
Do you know what's the opposite of pastoralism?
No, Silky. What's the opposite of pastoralism?
Hunter-gatherers.
That's the opposite of pastoralism.
Chasing your food still.
That's the opposite of pastoralism.
Not knowing how to farm.
This dude
not knowing how to set your stuff up. You're still chasing your food.
Pastoralism is the opposite of hunter-gatherers. Okay.
So did you know that the ram art is praised all throughout North Africa?
Okay, Silky.
And did you know it was praised in Egypt, but they got it last?
And okay, how are you connecting the dots, Silky? How does that prove that?
Well, I proved that through archaeology.
No,
I showed you that with the cryosphinx.
Okay, so
I showed you that with the gods. I showed you with the cave art. But yeah, let's don't even worry about that. We'll move on now.
Yes, let's worry about dates.
So did you know that the Nubians were Berbers?
Nubians are Berbers.
You didn't know what the Berbers are before the Nubians? They come after. It's just another name. The origin of their. Did you know the origin of their language? Who's not a Berber? Well, you don't get it till way later, man. Y'all don't start getting y'all's information coming until way later in time, man. It's not my fault. That's just what it is. But so did you know that the Kemetians don't even have like they don't have like no blood type or anything, right? They don't have a what? They don't have a gene, right? The DNA, blood DNA. They everyone has DNA. It's okay. Well, I mean, the Kemetians aren't on a genetic tree like that. That's a ridiculous question. So no, I mean, because they're not on the phylogenetic tree. Excuse me. I'm just saying they're not even on the phylogenetic tree. Like Berbers on there, there ain't no Kemetian gene nowhere. The Kemet 2 are not what? They're people, Silky. What are you talking about? Okay, let's move past that. So did you know? Hold on, wait. So my question time. My question time. Hold on. So did you know that all of North Africa? Hold on, time out. Did you know all of North Africa was called Libya?
Okay, and
did you know all of Africa was called Libya?
Okay, and
did you know that that's referring to the Berbers?
So no one has a distinct culture. No one has a distinct identity.
Okay,
So
you answer the question. It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question.
No, yes, maybe so.
Okay, so did you know that the word Africa origin is from the Berbers? Was you aware of that?
No, yes, maybe so.
So did you know that Africa is coming from a Berber tribe? Are you aware of that?
No, yes, maybe so.
So you're not aware. Did you know the word Nile originates from Berber word? Not aware of that.
Steve, Silky is asking you questions. You have to answer.
No, yes, maybe so. He's asking me yes, no questions. He's not asking me good questions.
Okay.
I can't even get an honest answer.
Move forward with your time. I'm restarting you now. Go.
Yeah. So the god you named, Namr, was you aware that he was praising the Libyan deities?
Namr's not a god. Namr's not a god.
What king? Did you know he was praising the Libyan deities?
What?
Was you aware that he praises the Libyan deities?
No. What deity? Yeah. What Libyan deities was he praising?
He was praising Amun and Osiris and Sobek.
Osiris is Greek.
Osiris is Egyptian.
No, Osiris is Greek.
Osiris is Libyan.
No, okay, yeah, you could have Osiris.
Osiris origin is Libyan. How is that Greek?
But Osiris is Black African.
How is Osiris origin Libyan? How is that Greek?
Because that's your mindset. You have a Greek mindset.
Libya is Greek now?
No, you have a Greek mindset.
How is Libya saying Libya Greek? How is that a Greek mindset?
You're Greek. Yes, no, maybe so.
So now it's all Greek now, even though we're talking about Africa.
No, maybe so. Yes, no.
Make it make sense. Oh, man, boy, it's ugly money out here, boy. Easy work. So, like I said, was you aware that the word Nile originates from the Berbers?
No, yes, no, maybe so.
It's old Libyan. I read the source.
Yes, no, maybe so.
And was you aware that Sobek is the god that everybody praises when they're in the afterlife, or when they're going before they go to the afterlife?
Everybody praises Sobek. Everybody praises Sobek.
Well, that's the oldest god.
Everybody praises Sobek. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
It was a yes or no question. So was you aware that Nith, the goddess, was Libyan? So. Did you know that Nith was a Berber? A Berber goddess? Was you aware of that?
No, maybe so.
Was you aware of Tanit? Was you aware of that one? Like, you just, boy, man, nasty. I'm cold out here. All right, so was you not aware that Herodotus literally confirms that was all Berber, that was a land of Barbarata, right?
Herodotus is a Greek.
Okay, I'm just talking about him confirming the information, confirming with the stuff. Them Berbers being there. You mad at that?
Give me a date for Herodotus.
So, I'm not to give you nothing. I just told you. You mad he confirming it? No, I didn't know. You mad at somebody confirming it?
Yes, I knew. No, I didn't know. Maybe I knew. Yes, no, maybe so. When you finished, me, miny, mo.
Can I get a? Come on, man. What you doing there, bro? Like, I'm trying to. Hey,
bo, catch a mouse by the toe.
So, was you not aware that all of that stuff, all of those lands out there, that Herodotus and all the other scholars, that the land of Barbarata, was you not aware that was ancient Egyptian African text?
Yes, no, maybe so.
Okay, then you tried to say Berbers were E1B, was you not aware that they have 8 zeros?
And time. All right, brothers and sisters, that is the chin check session, everybody's favorite part of the debate. You guys make sure you're hitting that live button, sharing the video, letting everybody know that we are live over here on MVP TV and over here at Worldview Wars and also Paradigm Shift TV 314. We got Silky D and Steve Kemet Infomunger in the building. Excellent debate, guys. Excellent debates. Fire, fire, fire. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get into the closing statements. Let me get ready to set everybody's time. Steve, you're going to go first since you were the negative, and Silky D will be going last. Once again, family, hit that like button. Let everybody know what we are doing over here at Worldview Wars. It's Worldview Wars. Try saying that 10 times fast, family. With that being said, Steve, you're going to start to close out on my signal.
Okay, can you put my slides up, please? I'm sorry, Chris. Please.
You're going to put your slides up? Okay. Silky, I'm going to remove you off the panel so you can get his closeout in. And we're going to put up Steve's slides, and we're going to start it now. Give me 1 second and go.
Okay. Haplogroup E1B1B is a genetic marker that does not show the origin of civilization, Kemetic or otherwise. Conclusion summary. Thesis statement. The Berbers were not the people who established Kemetic civilization. From this debate, I will take over Silcadonia and the Silkites methodology and historical analysis of the development of early Kemetic civilization compared to Berbers and the cultural relevance of the E1B1B haplogroup. My debate performance centered on the thesis statement, and my methodology queried the relevance of the E1B1B haplogroup on early Kemetic civilization. The E1B1B paternal group is characterized by its high frequency in certain regions of Africa and its presence in other parts of the world, particularly in Europe and the Near East. I beg to argue that most Europeans are not Berbers or Amazigh. Berber is not their culture or language, even though they have the E1B1B haplogroup. Was Erihor Libyan or Berber? Erihor of 3170 BCE was not Libyan or Berber. He was an indigenous Upper Kemetic ruler, part of the early Nile Valley lineage that developed into the kingship state. The Proto-Berber language does not appear until much later, such as 2000 to 1000 BCE. They didn't even have a language. The Amazigh cultural package, tattoos, matrilineal clan, Lyco-Berber script, etc., developed in 1000 BCE in the Bronze and Iron Age, not in 3170 BCE pre-dynastic Kemet. In 3170 BCE, there were pre-Berber Libyan cultures compared to the most structured civilization formation of King Erihor's Abydos Kemet. Kemet has its own historical, cultural, and spiritual identity that cannot be usurped by other groups of people. Silcadonia of the Silkites is set ablaze, crushed by Kemet and the Infomongers. King Ka Seken was a ruler of Upper Kemet during Dynasty 0 around 3150 BCE. This was just before the unification of Kemet under Scorpion II and Narmer. What was the state of Berber civilization in 3150 BCE, the time of King Ka?
And time. Thank you, Steve, the Infomonger. Thank you very much on your close out. We're going to bring up Silky D. Silky D. I'm not going to keep saying that. I'm not going to keep saying that, Silky D. With that being said, your time starts when I say go. Go.
Man, let me pull up. Let me go to my pull up my source where I got it. Let me just
right.
go.
Let me
go to the one that got the bow and arrow on it. It got a picture. It's a hieroglyphic, glyph, whatever, or pictograph of a person with a bow on it. I'm gonna just start off there just for the heck's sake. It's like on the bottom. It's yeah, there you go, right there. I think. No, yeah, that's a bow. He got a bow on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, we good. All right. So let me know. We ready?
Starting your time now. Go.
I'm just giving y'all a little extra, man. You feel me? Y'all already know what it is. This is a done deal. Zip them up. All right. Throw them in the back of the trunk. You know, it's a wrap after that. Yeah, I'm going to just hit y'all with some extra, you feel me, just because I got to give it to the people because y'all need to learn, you know what I mean? Professor Breested also noted that there was the Berbers of the Delta who invented the solar calendar when he wrote the civilization was probably earlier and more advanced than that of the valley above. Already in the 43rd century BC, the men of the Delta had discovered the year of 365 days, and they introduced the calendar year of this length beginning in the day when Sirius rose at sunrise. As determined in the latitude of the southern delta, where these earliest astronomers lived in 4241 BC. That's 4241 BC. It is a civilization of the delta, therefore, which flourishes us in the earliest fixed date in the history of the world. History of ancient Egyptians, 1908, the TP, 3132, as we should see below. Herodotus spoke Libyan and Alice being the inventor of astronomy and the doctrine of the sphere. So I just gave y'all the calendar right there. That one's on the house also. So yeah, I done showed y'all with linguistics, DNA, genetics, you know what I'm saying, archaeology, paleontology, you know, cave writings, pulled out the tribes, language, words, but all that stuff, you feel me? Like, so it's all there, you know what I mean? It's a big package, big bow. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a hard one for y'all to deal with. I know it's hard to look at all these sources and look at all these facts in your face and say, oh, I could be wrong. Yeah, man, I understand, but you was, man. So yeah, out of there, all the sources are in my favor. As far as current genetic studies go, that I really like to play with, you know what I'm saying? We could say scrap all this history. Yeah, go meet me in the science lab. Let's go over to the genetic lab. I'll be over there, holler. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's saying. All there, DNA confirms it. As far as new studies, modern studies, the most up-to-date studies, y'all need to throw all your out-of-date studies out. Throw all that stuff out. All that's wrong. Yeah, y'all need to go back and rework that stuff, man. Stop harping on that old information y'all got. I'm sorry, y'all going to let it go. So it's your boy Silky D. Y'all already know I'm coming with that hot fire. I'm gonna keep reading y'all some more, man. I could give y'all some more if y'all want, but yeah, all those trials here, like all that's Berber, man. I hate to tell you, those are the origins. It's coming. They're all praising Libyan Berber gods. You know what I'm saying? Before any of that stuff even came about, before they had writing, before they had language and all that, these Berbers are already out here doing everything. You know what I'm saying? Egyptians, they got it last and borrowed it from the Berbers and the Libyans, which are the Berbers. So yeah, man, anywhere you want to go, wherever you want to run to, you're going to get shot up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no ducking me. You know what I'm saying? I hit you with some more. Go on like one source over. Go two sources to the left.
And time.
Oh, boy.
And time. First things first, I want to thank the two guests for coming up here, giving us their time and their effort and their academic scholarship today. I want to tell Steve thank you, and I'm going to tell Smooth Silk, I'm going to tell him thank you for showing up today. You guys did an excellent job. Love the way that you guys managed your time. I love the way that you guys handled yourselves up here, and I love the way you guys helped promote the brand. You guys did a great job. With that being said, I'm going to be removing both of you all. I want to say thank you once again for coming by, and I want to ask the audience, do you think that Silk did enough to dethrone Steve, the champion, the academic champion? Do you guys think that that he did enough to do that? With that being said, guys, family, this has been the Worldview Wars, guys. Remember, hit that like button. If you're on my channel, go over there. Please go over there. Subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this brand. Let's help this debate platform become great. Let's not make it like other debate platforms that have not succeeded. Let's help it succeed. That's why I'm here. This is why I've taken upon this endeavor. Once again, I want to say thank you to the two gentlemen that came up here and put on an excellent debate tonight. I will say the chin check session was what I was looking forward to, and it lived up to it once again. So with that being said, I want to give a shout out to you all in the audience, all 61 people. We reached 70 people today. We want to get that number up to 200 by the end of next month, and let everybody see the talent that we are bringing forth over here on Worldview War. Shout out to Mika1135. Shout out to Dr. Bombay, Indigenous Black Man. Holograph 100 is in the building. Let's see who else we had in the building. Michelle Turnup is in the building. She don't like me. Josh Shub, hey, you taking my terms, man. Stop stealing my moves, man. I see you jacking, man. You said, man, I saw what you said out there. Shout out to Yerim Yahuda, Dawid Ben Yakanan. Ooh, say that 10 times fast. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Heyru Consciousness was in the building, standing on it. Miss Heyru Consciousness was in the building, standing on business. Once again, my man Suave 7068 was in the building. Media Rights was in the building once again. And guys, don't forget, support your brother DMG. Send him a cash app. Let him know how much you enjoyed this platform tonight, the debate tonight. I think these brothers definitely showed up. I really enjoyed that chin check session. It was funny and good at the same time. Philin 1997 is in the building. Damn, I miss those days. And let's see who else we had up in here once again. We had Dave. David is in the building. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Stephanie, excuse me, Step Into the Light was in the building. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming by and supporting this debate tonight, guys. We want 100 people up in here when we go live. That's important. That helps grow this brand. Hit the like button when you come up in the building every single time, because that helps the channel and the platforms with the algorithm. It helps keep it in the algorithm. I see a lot of talent over here, and I'm real excited to be hosting and also putting together some debates also. So with that being said, guys, we are getting ready to sign up out of here. I am finna take my light skin ass to bed. And guys, do you think Silk did enough to dethrone Steve, the Kemet Infomunger? That being said, family, we signing out. Thank you all for stopping by. Peace. Big Steve.